I'd never ever felt this way until you had to say goodbye. The feeling of loss so intense. It's like I actually might die. I can't eat. I can't sleep. Your face is all that I see. My chest feels so tight that sometimes I can't even breathe. For it's not like you've just moved from one town to the next. Where you've gone, I cannot follow unless I take drastic steps. Just carrying on as normal feels like I'm saying that I don't care. But I don't know what else to do. My God, this isn't fair. I'm told I need to get through this, that things get easier in time. But it's the worst feeling I've ever known, to be the one who's left behind.
Hello, you guys. Welcome, my beautiful queens, the women of scars. Well, how I can cope with losing a loved one. You guys, first of all, is accepting death, understanding that everyone comes to die, and that's one thing, and understanding in a spiritual aspect that this is just our vessel, and that our spirits live on. So that's one way that I'm able to cope with losing a loved one. The more that I understand about, the reality of life, of how things happen. Of course, we're just only human. We'll have our ups and downs. And another thing, you guys, second, that helps me to be able to cope with death is thinking about the good times of losing a loved one, you guys. I've lost several loved ones, my uncles, my aunties, grandmas, friends, you guys. And, it was hard, and sometimes it can get hard a little bit, not too much now. As years has gone past, you guys, I've got a little bit more stronger and wiser by the grace of God, and also just dwelling on, God, knowing that there's a spiritual world up there, you guys. That's the way that I'm able to, cope with, losing a loved one. I think the hardest thing losing a loved one is at the beginning, when if someone's going to pass away and you're really close to them. That's the suffering part at that time, the grieving part. But you guys, also when you know too that you're about to lose a loved one, sometimes it's unexpectedly, sometimes we know it's good to spend time with them as much as we can. And don't just spend time when they get sick, just spend time with them, get to let them know that you care, and get close to them as much as possible helps as well, you guys. So again, that's the way I'm able to cope with losing a loved one, and also just staying busy. So my 3 is understanding about death, where the spirit goes, and good memories, you guys, and just keeping busy, and come to understand that, you don't want to keep grieving all the time because it's not healthy for you. So, you have to come to accepting. When you accept it, it hurts, but when you come to accept it, you'll never get over it. But coping is how you can cope with it and just move on with your life, and remember that they're always there, and the memories will always stay there. And just dwell on the good, you guys, and just think about there ain't no more suffering, there ain't no more pain. And that's it, you guys.
I am interested in trying to deal in someone has died. My grandmother, my aunt, and a friend. It's been really hard. Just trying to get over that they're actually gone. Dealing to what to say, what not to say. You think, sometimes I want to call and you can't call because they're not there. But dealing with death has really been hard for me. I've tried to what to do, what not to do because they're not there. So I'm trying to keep moving on in life, regardless what my family and friend is gone. But it's still life. I still have to keep moving and do what I need to do. But that's all I can say. But it's hard, but you have to keep moving. That's it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Faith Barbary, and I'm here to talk about how to cope with the grief of a loved one. Okay, a few years back, my mother died, and then a couple of years ago, maybe about a year and a half ago, my brother died, then my sister died, and then my brother-in-law died. And that was really hard on me. I didn't think I was going to make it through. But the hardest of all, the hardest grief that I had to go through was the loss of my mom. People say that you get over it, the pain within time. Yeah, the pain gets easier, but you really never get over the loss of your mother. You just learn to cope with it. You learn to deal with it every day. And the way I learned at first, when she first passed away, I threw myself into my work. I stayed at work all the time. And then I started going to church. By the grace of God, He helped me through. If it wasn't for God, I don't know what I would do. I would be shouting all over that church. And it's like the Holy Spirit seemed to be on me more at that time. I got closer to God. And even when I was at my mother's funeral, I remember when we were at church at Zion that we would go over this scripture about what happens to your body when you die, about how your spirit and your body separate, and that your spirit goes to God, which gave you life, and your body goes back to the dirt in which it came. So while everybody else was maybe snotting and crying, I was looking at my mother and I was thinking, I said, my mom her spirit is gone. Her spirit has gone to a better place because she's with the Lord now. She's no longer in any more pain. She's no longer suffering. And I said, her body is not there. That's just a hole of her body, which housed her spirit while she was here on earth. But like I said, I started going to church. Like when my brother and sister passed away, we have these sermons and there are sermon books that we have to do. And I finished that sermon book. I was just going through those sermons so fast because I needed something to occupy my mind. Because I knew if I just sit around the house, that my mind would start to dwell. And everybody in church was wondering how I was getting through those sermon books so fast and so quickly. I had to. That's how I was coping with my grief. I was just going sermon after sermon because it was a way to ease my mind and to help me get closer to God. So like I said, if it wasn't for the grace of God, I just don't know where I would be or what I would have done. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
How do you cope with the loss of a loved one? How do you cope with grief? For me to be able to get up every day after the loss of my mom, it's my kids. They keep me going, and the grace of God.
Hello, this is Prince Moore, and we're talking about life and death. When I lost my mom and dad, the two sweetest persons on earth, and special, that was hard on me. But you know what? They went to a better place, and they don't have to suffer down here no more. And I miss them down here, but they don't have to suffer. They'll stay up in glory with the Lord. And as family, we all need to get together, and we need to stay in church, do like Mom and Dad did, so we can make it in to see them again on the other shore. God bless all of y'all. I love you.
My name is Anastasia. The reason why I am smiling is I'd rather smile than cry because it hurts. Because when I was little, my dad passed away when I was like 6 or 7. And it's still hard to this day. Like, I still cry, I have some tears, but I do know he is so proud of me, watching over me, and he's still with me. And I just miss him because, like, it's been really hard because I really feel like I need him because that was my best friend, but things happen, and I know he is in my heart, safe with God. And how I get over it sometimes, if I listen to calm music, calm myself down, breathe in, bring it out, or either my aunt, which is my aunt, Adrian, she'll help me calm me down, cheer me up, and it puts a smile back on my face. And I want to tell y'all, all the loved ones that passed, they're still with you, they're watching over you. And I just wish my dad was here to see me graduate out of high school, but he could see me in the sky. God bless you.
How I've come to deal with the lost one of someone passing away is that after all of the tears and the frustration and sometimes anger, you come to the realization that the person has left and they don't exist physically anymore in this world. So it's like you just have to come to that realization. If not, it will essentially destroy you. So how I've come to deal with the loss of a loved one who has passed away, I just have to truly come to the terms to the fact that they're physically gone, but in a sense they're not really gone because they're always in your heart and they're a part of you. So really they actually continue to live on through you. So it's not like they really die because you're a part of them. So if you're a part of them, they continue to live on, even though it's hard, like with the loss of my dad, and the tears still come. Sometimes I'll be sitting driving, or sometimes I'll see his chair where he used to sit, and some days I'll walk in the house and I expect him to be there. Then I get a little bit upset and I get a little bit of misty-eyed. But like I said, I just have to come to terms that a person has physically left, and you just have to come to terms with it, and they still continue to live on through you though. You know what I'm saying? So we just have to keep moving on. We are them essentially, so for them, and they would want us to continue to live on. They would want us to be in pain or in grief all the time. They would want us to continue living life and being happy.